International Business, Masters of Commerce, second semester, Mangalore University, session 10. International Business Decisions. In this session, you're going to learn about the introduction to globalization, the definition, and the features of globalization. Learning objective to discuss about the meaning of globalization. Session outcome the students are able to understand the meaning and core features of globalization. The term globalization has gained wide currency in the last quarter of 20th century, more emphatically in 1980s and 1990s. It is a term which is on one hand highly considered as indispensable and on the other criticized as the return of western exploitation of the developing countries. It refers to a process by which the Earth planet is considered to be one single unit or a global village where social and economic interactions among the people are guided and conditioned accordingly. The world is supposed to be a global society with global issues and problems which are tackled with global efforts and cooperation. This has led to a feeling and consciousness that world is a single place. As a result of revolution in science and technology, more and more people interact with each other. This has fundamentally changed the concept of sovereignty of the state. The state is increasingly finding it difficult to control the activities of its citizens. As Steve Smith and John Bailey say, globalization refers to processes whereby social relations acquire relatively distanceless and borderless qualities so that human lives are increasingly played out in the world as a single place. According to Martin Albro, globalization refers to all these processes by which the people of the world are incorporated into a single world society, global society. The other view, which is highly critical of globalization, defines it as what we in the third world have for centuries called colonization, which was defined by Martin Lehor. The concept and process of globalization, especially its economic content, has been controversial not only in developing world but also in developed nations. Yet there seems to be no escape from the phenomenon. A distinction with international may further clarify the term globalization. The international system envisages relations between different states with clearly defined boundaries in which they are sovereign, and this sovereignty is to be respected and maintained. But the globalization is supposed to be supra-territorial, as the global field is a web of transborder networks which cut across the national territories, which uh, which cut the national which cut the national territories, and states have little control over them. Definition: the term globalization has been defined by Robertson as a concept that refers to the compression of the world and the intensification of the consciousness of the world as whole. Unquote. Globalization is generally understood in terms of two distinct processes. Globalization as a process that has made communication instantaneous and has encouraged people to think in more global terms. And globalization, which tends to combine a market ideology with a corresponding material set of practices drawn from the world of business. In other words, globalization does not only refer to an economic system in which international boundaries do not pose unnatural restrictions on international trade. It also refers to ideology and cultural globalization through communication media, computers, and satellites. In fact, it is due to the communication media, computers, and satellites that the new globalization has come to acquire such features which distinguish it from the old ones. The characteristics of globalization. Admittedly, these different definitions reflect the variations in the range of phenomena encompassing the term globalization. Based on these variations, the characterization of globalization is possible to identify the distinct features of the term globalization. It is most usefully employed as a descriptive rather than prescriptive term. It does not designate some desirable or undesirable end to be accepted or avoided. It merely reflects a set of social, political, economic, and technological forces that have recently become distinctly pronounced. Second, the term in its usage is perhaps relatively new, whereas a phenomenon or phenomena that it designates could by no means be treated as new. The past has also experienced the phenomena that the term globalization entails. The institutions that have emerged as a consequence of the globalization process extend beyond the power and authority of nation state. So much so, in the globalizing international affairs, nation states are no longer exclusive actors in the past, but besides, there are other actors too, which among others include non government organizations, environmental movements, transnational corporations, ethnic nationalities, and multi state regional organizations. In the globalizing world, the role performance of the new actors encompasses a relatively large field because of the growing number of economic, political, and communication networks. To that extent, these networks have made nation state boundaries porous and permeable to tile movement of people, goods, services, ideas, and information. The globalization process has not only made international relations more expansive but also intensive because there are not only greater number of actors and networks influencing one another, but more importantly the impact each one makes on the other is qualitatively greater than in the past. Global media networks, the products of transnational corporation, and the large migration of people from one part of the world to the other have greatly influenced the social and cultural moorings of people across the world. The sixth is the huge capital resources. These enterprises have huge financial resources. They have the ability to raise to raise funds from different sources. Funds are raised by the issue of issuing equity shares, debentures, etc. to the public. The investors of the host countries are always willing to invest in them because of the high credibility in the market. The seventh is the foreign collaborations. With companies of the host countries, these enterprises enter into agreements. These agreements are made in respect of the sale of technology, production of goods, patents, resources, etc. Next, advanced technologies. These enterprises use advanced technology for production. Hence, goods or services provided by the MNCs conform the international standard and quality specifications. The ninth is the product innovations. These enterprises have efficient teams doing research and development at their own research and development centers. The main task is to develop new products and design existing products into new shapes in such a manner as to make them looks and new and attractive and also create satisfies the demands of the customers. Tenth is the expansion of market territory. They expand their market territory when the network of operations of these enterprises extends beyond their existing physical boundaries. They occupy dominant positions in various markets by operating through their branches, subsidiary in host countries. And last is the centralized control. Despite the fact the branches of these enterprises are spread over in many countries, they are managed and controlled by their head office in their home country only. All these branches have to work within the broad policy framework of their parent company. Of the aforesaid features of globalization, the first and the second identify the process that demands a response. The third feature underlines that in a globalizing international order, that the nation states share the world stage with other actors, aid as a consequence international relationship are becoming less nation state centric. The fourth and the fifth features point out to the unsustainable character of the traditional distinction between the domestic and the international affairs. Thank you.